Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. Like I said, they got the royal family in England, but we have got the Petty family in America, and we have got Kyle Petty on with us this morning. Good morning. How are you, brother?
Doing good, man. How about you guys?
Yeah, we're up and rolling, man. We're up and rolling. You have got a lot of stuff going on, man. Of course, hats off to you with all the charitable things that you're involved in, man, no doubt. With the Victory Junction and the charity ride across America is great. But I seen something the other day. It kind of throwed me off just a little bit, and I got a little bit envious. You were actually singing at the Grand Ole Opry, man. What's the deal with that?
Can you believe they let me sing there?
I thought you done a good job, man, but I'm sitting there thinking, dadgum, man.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate that. But so I couldn't believe it. So what I did, during the pandemic, man, I just didn't have a lot going on like everybody else. So you're just sitting at home, and you got a million ideas. So I came up with this idea for a TV show called Dinner Drive, where I go out and I talk to people about sentimental cars.
Right.
That's it. That's my entree. My entree is let's talk about a car for one segment of this show. And pitched it to Circle, to the Circle Network, and they said, let's give it a shot. So I've shot 8 episodes, and while we were doing some stuff, they said, hey, man, you want to sing at the Grand Ole Opry? Because they are home of the Opry. Circle Network is home of the Opry. And I said, are you kidding me? Let's forget the show. Just let me sing at the Opry, man.
I mean, that is fantastic.
I wonder
man.
if Stephen can get some leverage like that.
Yeah, I need to. I've got kicked out of the opera a couple of times, but I ain't never got to sing there. I guarantee you. Now, this new show you got going on, I've been kind of keeping up with that. It's not aired yet. It's fixing to air, right?
Yeah, it airs. The premiere show is the world premiere. I've always wanted to say that, man. I always just wanted to say world premiere, okay, with something that I've done other than crash cars.
Right.
So the world premiere here is July. It's Dale Jr. So here's what I did. I did Dale Jr. first because we're friends, and I knew if I messed up the first show, he would let me come back and film it again.
Right.
So it's good when you've got a friend who wants to be on your show and he knows you're just experimenting with him. So it's July 8th on Circle Network at 8:00, I think. And so I did Dale Jr. And then my second one I did my dad. Sorry, that was an easy one.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
So then I did Mario Andretti. So that was the end of my race car drivers. So I ended those guys, and then I did Darius Rucker and did Pitbull. Those are my 2 music guys. That's a little diversity right there when you go all the way from Darius Rucker to Pitbull.
Well, now wait a minute. I want to ask something about Pitbull. Did he not? Are y'all not? Y'all are talking about a Mercury Bobcat? Is that right?
Well, here's the deal. So here's the fascinating part. So the fascinating part is that was his sentimental car when and it was a Pinto. But if you can find a Pinto, please contact me at kylepetty.com because we could not find a Pinto in the United States. They've either all blown up or they've been crushed.
They raced them things, man. They about tore them all pieces in that low pony class.
Yeah, could not find a Pinto anywhere. So we found a Mercury Bobcat, but that was a sentimental car for him because that was the first car that his mom was able to afford when he was in school. And she would drive him to school in it. They would listen to music. They would listen to Tony Robbins tape. And his mom's passed away, and it's sentimental because it brings back so many memories of his mom taking him to school and doing different things in his life. That was the car they had. So we found this Mercury Bobcat. So listen, you would think Pitbull, let's go get a Rolls Royce. Let's get a Lamborghini. But no, his sentimental car was that. Listen, I did those 2. I also did Herschel Walker, Davis Love III, and Ric Flair. Ric Flair's sentimental car was a '65 Dodge Dart.
I'm cool with that now. I'm a Dodge man all the way.
That's what's so cool about this show is I'm not asking you what your favorite car is.
Right.
I'm not asking you what your dream car is. I'm asking you what is a car that is sentimental to you, that was sentimental to you growing up or sentimental to you at some point in time in your life. And they are as eclectic. The cars are as eclectic as the people are. Davis Love just had a fishing boat because that's what he and his dad went out on when they were young, and that's what he remembers about first moving to Sea Island, Georgia, more so than golf was fishing. So the thing is, that's just the entree. That just gets the conversation started. And then we start about life. Dale Jr. He talked about his concussions. He talked about getting married at a later age and having kids and how that was. Darius Rucker talks about how Charleston is still a part of who he is. No matter where he goes, no matter what he sings, whether it's Hootie or whether it's country, Charleston is still there. Ric Flair talks about growing up and going to boarding school and how wrestling was, in the 70s and in the 80s and stuff. So it is fascinating to talk to these people as, they're superstars, they're legends, they're icons. But you know what? They just live normal lives.
Oh,
they have normal things, and that's what is so cool about it. So I'm really excited for people to see it. I really am.
I want to see it, man. I'm going to tell you, talk about cars, though. You get down to Pintos or Volkswagens. Seemed like when back in the day, just had two lanes, and every time you got in a hurry, you always got behind a Pinto or a Volkswagen. I don't know what
That's my point.
Yeah.
There were millions of them. Where did they go? Where did they go? Because you can't find them now. You can't. Listen, this is no joke. No joke. Trying to find a '65 Dodge Dart that we could do with Ric Flair. I called some friends of mine at Dodge, at Chrysler. Obviously, we've known those people for a million years.
Yeah,
my dad drove race cars there. So they sent out 15,000 emails to their Mopar Collectors Club, and they got 3 responses.
Wow.
3 responses. 3 responses out of 15,000 of people that had Dodge Darts. That's it. And I'm sure there's other people out there with them. Don't get me wrong, but we just could not find them.
No, they really got. I think the Dart got popular. 67, 8, and 9 is kind of when they really took off. And that.
Oh yeah.
So what's your sentimental car? We got to have your sentimental car. Surely you got one.
So my sentimental car, and was born in 1960. So my sentimental car is the 1970 Superbird with that slope nose and that wing on the back.
Oh,
and here's why. We had just America had just put a man on the moon. It was the age of rockets and spaceships and everything. And then Dodge comes out with that Daytona, and then Plymouth comes out with that Superbird, and it's like, oh my gosh, we are going to the moon, and we're going to the moon in a car. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it just tripped that place in your head where that's the place you go back to. Little did I know that was a blip on the radar screen, and we'd go back to Chrysler K cars and those square-looking cars.
I mean, the same people that built the K car, man, they built the Viper too. That's the way I look at it. So
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, listen, you got to admit, somewhere they squashed them, but they came back when they came back with the Viper.
Yeah. Yep, I guarantee you. That's the thing about it. I grew up, my daddy always told me, Plymouth's the best car on the road, no doubt. And I think it's just because it was the cheapest thing out there. But
you know what? It's so funny you say that. When people ask how we got to driving Plymouths and Chryslers and stuff, my dad will tell you. It's the smallest car, and it was the cheapest car. And that's what your granddaddy said we needed to race because we weren't going to lose as much money if we raced the cheapest car.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, 100%. I dated in a 70 Charger, RT Charger, and when I sold it, I think it brought $1,300 or maybe $1,500. That's all I could get out of that car. And now it's, $100,000 car, easy.
Listen, dude, I had a 69 RT.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are bad cars, man.
Yep.
And if I had that thing today, I'd be styling and profiling.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, man, it would be bad to the bone.
So tell me, what is your daily driver?
Okay, so this is...
If you say Prius...
Please don't say Prius.
We're going to have to hang up. So just...
So don't hang up, but I had a Prius.
Oh, Lord.
No joke. No joke. I had a Prius. And people will look at me and say, why'd you get a Prius? And here's why. So let me explain my Prius story first. So,
okay.
I live 90 miles from where my dad lives.
Right.
And when my mom got really, really sick, I went every day. I live in Charlotte. I'd get up every morning and drive to see her. And I I had a Jeep with a Hemi engine that was getting about 4 miles to the gallon.
Right.
And then I realized that was not the best vehicle to commute in. So I bought a used Prius, and that baby got 51 miles to the gallon.
Golly,
and so I would go every day, and 90 miles over, 90 miles back. And then when she passed away, I kept it and I used it every now and then. But now you'll be happy to know that I'm in a minivan. Okay,
now we're cooking. I can deal with minivans.
Minivans are smoking hot, man. You can lay the seats down. You can haul motorcycles in there.
Oh yeah.
My main mode of transportation, honestly, is my motorcycle, because I ride that thing just about everywhere. I ride that Harley everywhere.
Yeah.
To the racetracks everywhere I go. But when I'm around town and I have to go somewhere and I'm taking Overton or Cotton, taking my little boys with me, then I'm minivan bound.
The Harley redeems you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a pass on the minivan.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know. I like old junk cars. I'm kind of like Jay Leno, but just a cheaper version. I got a bunch of stuff.
Way cheaper. Way.
My cars don't rust because they leak oil so much. There ain't no way rust has got a chance. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Listen, I tell people all the time, I'm like Jay Leno too. I just got a bunch of cars, just none of them run, but they look nice sitting there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Nice sitting there, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now you're friends with Dale Jr. I need to get a pass to go in his backyard. I don't see all his junk car. He got don't he have like a race car junkyard back there?
Out in the woods, what he did, he started putting listen, and what most people did with those things, when you would cut the bodies off of them or you'd have a bad crash, you sell it for scrap. It was just scrap metal. Now it's called collectible memorabilia.
Right.
Okay. So let's be how the world has changed, man.
I know.
What I mean? Yeah. So it's collectible memorabilia now, but then you just threw them away. So he started with one, and then had two, and then Jimmy Means and some of those guys, and then he started having people call him and say, "Hey, you want this car?" And then he started having to get particular about what crashes he took, because he didn't want to turn it into a junkyard. He wanted to turn it into a cool place. So, he's got some cars out in there and we'll talk sentimental, cars that mean something to him.
Oh, yeah.
People that mean something to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just everybody bring your junk to Dale Jr.'s and throw it out in the woods. It's friends of his, it's guys of his, it's cars that he raced, cars that means something that to him personally, and it's pretty cool, man. It's like walking through a little bit of history when you walk through it.
Oh, yeah.
You see, it's not like going through the Hall of Fame where they're all pristine. This is just absolutely the way it was, and this is the way some days ended.
But when just like my daddy used to watch your grandfather race, Lee Petty, and then Richard, and then you, and it goes right on. To me, that was back in the day when I loved racing.
Stock car.
Yeah.
Before restrictor plates, before they ruined everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're still racing, but
I know, but it wasn't like I saw his dad running at the Texas 250 and had a bad wreck. It was AJ Foyt's fault, by the way.
There you go. It's AJ's fault.
It was totally AJ Foyt's fault. But that was back in the day when they were running stock car, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. It really was.
Yeah, but listen, and I agree, because when you grow up and you see things and you're a kid, and you see David Pearson, you talk about AJ. Man, I remember the first time I met AJ when I was a kid. I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I'd read about him in all the papers, and I just thought he was a god. You know what I mean? Walking into a Cup garage area. But Cale and Bobby and all those guys, you grew up during that era. That to me, that's always going to be my golden era. That's always going to be the time when I thought racing was
It was more attainable somehow. Mm-hmm. I actually met AJ Foyt when I was 6. His aunts lived right down the street from our house, and I got to meet him. So,
you just felt like you just felt like those guys were your next door neighbors. They were just out there doing extraordinary things with cars. But they could have been you could have just run into them at a restaurant or at McDonald's or wherever. They were just guys, you know. And all that's changed. It's changed that way in all sports. And it's
right.
It is just different now. It is just, they still race, they still do the same stuff. But it is just different right now. The way the world is.
Well, I always thought I could drive NASCAR because I run over 100 mile an hour on these little 2-lane roads up here in North Georgia. I mean, you throw me on the interstate and add another 100 to it, I think I could do it.
Oh.
Especially with a car that's got brakes. I mean,
it's not spraying oil out of the bottom.
Oh my gosh!
Oh Lord! Hey, Kyle, tell us where we can get up with this. We got to get to a break, but tell us where we can find all this information that's going on, because you've got a lot of stuff going on, and not to mention you were in the movie Stroker Ace, which is, I mean, that's like more royalty.
Yeah, listen, I am still waiting for my Academy Award from that. I know that was they just lost the envelope on the Stroker Ace thing, because that was movie of the century.
There you go.
But yeah, we do the charity ride, so that's KylePettyCharityRide.com if you want to find out about that. VictoryJunction.org if you want to know about sending kids to camp and how you can help us send kids to camp and change kids' lives. That's important. Our dinner drive, it's Dinner Drive KP. It's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow us there. We're giving away we're having contests and giving away hats and T-shirts and just different paraphernalia or different trinkets and trash to get people to watch and do some of that. So we had a contest the other day. We gave away some posters from the Opry, so that's been pretty cool. So it's Dinner Drive KP on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And like I said, just follow us on the charity ride or at Victory Junction. And if you don't catch me there, I'll be on NBC on every Saturday or Sunday talking something about racing. You might not like it, but I'm going to be talking.
There you go, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, no doubt about it. We're going to keep up with you. And next time you get to the Grand Ole Opry, give us a holler. We're going to come.
We'll do, man. We'll do. Thank you. I need backup singers, so I will call you guys.
There you go. I look good in a miniskirt.
All right, yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
See you, man. Bye.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.